You're watching episode number 44 of the Emotional Freedom Podcast. Okay, quick question. Have you ever felt guilty to receive help from people? Or should I say, have you ever felt as if you would rather just give, and when people want to offer you something back in return, you just felt as if it is sinful for you to receive it? Okay, I know the word sinful sounds so serious about it. Well, probably it's because you have fallen in too deep, I would say, into this idea of it is better to give than to receive. So stay tuned to find out. Hi, welcome to the Emotional Freedom Podcast. My name is Luke Bong. I'm your host. I'm an accredited NLP trainer and a certified hypnotherapist. Now, growing up as a Christian, I am always told that it is better to give than to receive. And in the church, the pastors will always share about how people give, and they will just give without questioning. And before long, if you hear it all the time, like it or not, you get to be brainwashed and start to believe things without really understanding why. You see, let's look at the whole thing about giving and receiving. I know a lot of people who are expert givers, but when it comes to receiving, they are lousy receivers. Now, what do I mean by that? These are people who will just give and give and give, and they don't even care about whether they can give. They'll just give because why? It is good to give. But when you turn around and you want to give them something back, they would push it away. They will find reason and excuses why you shouldn't give it to them and why it is a bad thing. It's as if they feel painful or they feel guilty to receive good things from other people. And when that happens, I would say that it is because they have fallen too deep into this idea that it is better to give than to receive. Now, before I go into what would be a better way and things like that, I just want to talk about there are also other people who are actually expert at receiving and they are not good at giving. Okay, these are people who will just take, but they are not willing to offer something back, or they are not willing to just give of their time, give of their energy. They are just basically suckers. Okay, and suckers are not those people who are easy to be lied to, but suckers are those who are basically suck you dry. And both are extreme. Okay, and both are extreme. And we know that anytime things go into the extreme, that's when things can go out of balance. You see, the universe, our planet Earth, nature is all about balance. Anytime when you have got something that is out of balance, then there will be a correction that takes place. And that's just the way it is. So the idea about it is better to give than to receive, if you really look at that, the whole idea is very good, because if everyone is so busy giving, then ended up everyone is also very busy receiving. And that is the whole point. That is the whole point. It is not to say that to give is better than to receive. So that means that if you are receiving, that means that it's not good. So, I want to share something that I learned from this teacher, and his name is Rob. Now, you see, Rob, he says that it is better to give than to receive. Well, he changed it to it is good to give, but it is even better if you are not in a position where you have to receive. But it is great to receive the love as well as the offering from others, because it really makes the heart warm, because there are people who care about you enough to want to give something to you. And Tony Robbins once shared a very profound story that really, I would say, stick with me. He was sharing it like this. You see, when he was growing up, he also had this idea of it is better to give than to receive. So what happened was, whenever he goes out with friends or someone whom he respects, he will insist on paying them for their dinner. That means buying them a meal. And in one particular moment, he was really, insisting that, let me pay for your meal. And his guests just slapped the hand away. And Tony, of course, was shocked because Tony is a big size guy, by the way. And the guest, his guest was not that big size, not as big as him. And the guest just said this, "Are you going to rob me of this joy of buying you this meal?" Yeah, I'll say that once again. Are you going to rob me of this joy of buying you a meal? You see, there are people who also believe that it is better to give than to receive. So if someone wants to experience the joy of giving you, then please don't rob them of that joy. Don't rob them of that joy just because you felt as if it is wrong for you to receive. No, it's not. No, it's not. So right now, think about, in your life, when you require help or when you are in a position of need and all that, and you know that you should probably have reach out for help or ask people to share or to help you, what is it that have stopped you from reaching out? Or what is it that have stopped you from asking for help? Deal with that. Chances are it's because you have been taught like that, you have been programmed like that since young, and therefore you felt this invisible resistance, especially when it comes to receiving help. Now, it takes both giving and receiving to make the world go round. And when it comes to receiving and giving, I love to give. And you know what? It is awesome to receive as well. And that makes the world go round. Thanks for joining me in today's episode. Now, if you have found this episode helpful, I would really appreciate it if you can leave a 5-star review in places like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you are watching this on Facebook, please help me to like it and share it with your friends. And if you are on YouTube, please consider to subscribe to my channel so that you will never miss a single episode. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.